Okay, in this video I want to just give you a little bit about a curtain wall. So this is the curtain wall here. It's got a frame around it and it has these mullions through there that you can edit. So this is under the wall tool. Once my computer saves here. And so this is the same place you had like my stone wall, my other types of walls. You can pick a storefront wall here and then you can draw that in. Now there's some cool things about storefront walls. You can cut them into your wall. You can totally change an entire wall to be storefront if you want. Like I could take this wall here and say, okay, well I want you to be a storefront wall now. And it'll pop that in there. Now notice it looks, that looks a little weird on the edges. So I'm going to show you how to embed this inside of there. That's the way they typically look nice, unless you're going to do a whole, system walls. You might draw them on their own, but let's say I want to do like a really long curtain wall along here looking out into my patio. So I'm going to delete the one that's right here, and then I'm going to go to my wall tool. Curtain wall is already selected, and one of the things you have to make sure, it should be automatically embedded, and that might be an edit type. Let's look in here. Yes, automatically embedded. It's already checked. That's an option. So I'm going to go and say I want this curtain wall to cut from like here to here, and then we'll see what that looks like. And keep hitting that print button in 3D. So notice how it cut right in there. Now you might want this to go all the way down. You might not. So I'm going to show you a couple different options here. I'm going to use this one kind of as a patio, a couple patio doors on this one. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the height of this wall down to my other walls. So right now the height of this thing is up to level 3. I'm going to drop this to level 2 so that we're at the right height there. Now some other things you can tweak here are the types of mullions in here and their spacing. So if I go into edit type, I can play around right here. For my vertical grids, I have a spacing of 5 feet, a max spacing. I could say, okay, well, what if I want to do, a 6-foot max spacing? What does that look like? Spreads them out a little bit. Now I only get 3 panels. Maybe that's a better look for you. And then your horizontal grid, you could decide, okay, well, I want to go all the way up. So I might say I want 10 feet and hit apply on this and hit OK. And now I have that clean all the way up to the ceiling. Now, one of the things you need to take into account, I'm going to put another one over here so you see that a little bit differently. I'm going to go back to level 1, and I'm going to embed another storefront wall in here. So let's say we want something in this little bedroom, goes across here, but I want to use this one more as a window. So in this case, I am going to bring it up off the ground a little bit. So I'm going to give it a base offset of, let's say 3 feet. So it's going to start 3 feet off the ground. So now we have that stone going around there. And then I want to cut it above there. So instead of going all the way up to level 3 there, I'll say, okay, go up to level 2, but use a top offset of negative, let's see if we do negative 1 foot. All right, so you see how that brings that down. That starts to make that look a little more interesting. Now, if I don't want this to have these large panels, I can edit this. The important thing here is that I duplicate it, because if I change this one to, say, 3 feet between these vertical grids, this one's going to change as well. So I might say storefront, yeah, you could say storefront 2 or storefront bedrooms or something like that. Whatever works for you, just you'll have to manage that. And then I could say, okay, well, for in here, let's say I do 4 feet between, so I get that nice 3-panel look here. Now, let's say I want to add a door over here. That's another option we have. I might say, and maybe I want to drop this one down as 2. Maybe I want to do a top offset of negative 1 foot over here too. See what that looks like. So I get that field stone along the top there. I think that looks nice. Now, if I want to add something in here, I'll go and I'll first select this. And then you have to right click. All right, try this again. Select it, right click on it, select panels on host. All right, so I'm going to unpin this one because I want a doorway right here. So I'm going to unpin that, and then I'm going to select just that panel right on the edge. Over here it says system panel glazing. I'm going to edit type on that. I'm going to go to load, and inside of your doors folder, you're going to see curtain wall and you can decide how you want to, which one you want to bring in. I'm going to hit open on that, and okay. And now it gives me a little doorway there out to my patio. So it's just a little bit about curtain walls. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with those. So try one of those out maybe in your home.